DJs, do you need the fastest, most spec'd out laptop for DJing? Or can you get by with a no frills, no thrills type of laptop? That's a question we're going to answer today on DJ Tech Tips. Does more cheddar equal more better? I don't know, but let's get into it. In front of me is a Fusion 5 14.1-inch laptop running Windows 11 Home version. Now this thing comes in at a whopping $250 fresh off of Amazon. It's got 8 gigs of RAM, an Intel N100 quad-core processor, and a 512 gigabyte solid-state drive. Now I can already hear the people screaming in the comments, but the processor isn't up to spec for Serato. Yeah, I know. But this is an experiment, and I just wanted to see if it can run Serato at its basic functions. So today we're going with an N100 processor. Plus, if the N100 can run Serato at its basic needs, well, do you really need to invest the money into an i-series processor? I don't know, let's find out. So the thing that I noticed immediately without even having to go through the laptop was the display. Now I come from a world of MacBook M series, MacBook Pros, and the displays on those laptops are just picture perfect. They are amazing. The Fusion 5, however, is not the same. The display is super low resolution, it's grainy, it works. You can read everything you need to read on Serato, but if you're looking for that crispiness and that real pretty look of Serato on a high-res screen, you are not going to get that with a $250 Fusion 5. Now the next thing I noticed was speed. And I know you're probably expecting me to say that this thing was the slowest, most unbearable laptop to deal with when it comes to installing stuff like Serato DJ Pro, Phase Manager, and my drivers for my DJ MS9. However, I'm here to tell you, it wasn't that bad. I mean, is it my M3 Max MacBook Pro? No, it's not at all. But was it terrible? Honestly, no, it really wasn't that bad. And it really surprised me that it handled it so smooth. The installation of stuff on this laptop really was a breeze. And I don't like to admit that because I am so spend the money, get a good laptop, but for $250, it did it just fine. And I have no real complaints about the speed of which it works or the speed of which it installs programs. Either way, it works out really well. Again, it's not the fastest in the world, but as long as you go into it understanding you're buying a $250 laptop, for $250, it ain't bad. It ain't bad at all. However, we are not here to see how fast it installs things, even though it was impressive. We are here to talk about how it runs DJ software. So the first thing I did was loaded up 47 tracks on a USB 3.2 thumb drive and plugged them into this USB 3.1 drive right here. One of the things I noticed was the files transferred really fast. It was really quick, quicker than I thought. These are USB 3.1 ports, I can confirm it, and they blew through data transfer. It was actually really impressive. Again, I'm not impressed of a performance of a laptop that costs $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. This is $250, and so far, it's done everything that it needs to do. So we got the music locally stored on the laptop. I popped into Serato. I made a test crate. I threw all the songs in the test crate, all 47 of them. Then I needed to analyze those songs. This is where a real test starts to begin, guys. We need to analyze our music to make sure that it's good in Serato. So I threw all 47 songs in the analyzer and, well, again, it's not that bad. It's quad core, so you can do 4 songs at one time. It's not the fastest, but it's not the worst. If you were doing 1,000 songs, it would take you a little bit. You'd have to leave the laptop on and like analyzing, but at the end of the day, it does it, and it does it just fine. Now keep in mind that a professional DJ wouldn't buy a $250 Fusion 5 laptop for DJing, so this is more geared towards beginners. And as a beginner, you don't have a ton of music anyway. You're still curating your music, you're still finding your vibe, finding your sound. So, you know, $250 for a beginner, the way it analyzes music, I, again, can't say anything bad about it. I wish I could. I want to hate this thing. I want to hate this thing more than I hate anything else, because all I preach is get the expensive laptop. But damn it, this thing is not giving me something to complain about yet. Oh, but it's coming. We're getting there. Okay, so the next test was plugging in my S9 while Serato was already up. Now on my M3 Max MacBook Pro, there's a little bit of a hiccup. The little yellow bar comes up, Serato freezes for a second, then the dual decks pop up and everything is fine. And I thought to myself, well, if I did that on this $250 cheapo laptop, it should be significantly worse because my M3 Max is an M3 Max. However, again, this laptop, as much as I wanted to fail, didn't fail. I plugged my mixer in and guess what? It popped right up within a second. No issues, no hiccups. So I thought to myself, damn, well, I'll trick this thing. I'll plug in my phase and that'll make it hiccup. Damn it, it didn't. Nothing. Not even a freeze. It was actually pretty amazing. Now, I have to keep in mind that the only thing on this laptop is Serato, the S9 driver, and the phase manager. But, I mean, no hiccups so far. Thoroughly impressed. It's actually blowing my mind, and I hate it. But I also kind of love it, because I don't mind proving myself wrong. So we've gotten through connecting all of our hardware. We've gotten through loading songs, analyzing songs. Now it's time to test the performance of this laptop while actually using Serato DJ. Okay, so everything is up and running. We got our phase connected, our mixer connected. I load a song into the decks and play, and guess what? It works just fine. It's crazy how fine it works. It loads the songs up pretty fast, and they play with no issues. I can scratch, I can mix, I can loop, I can do all the things that I would normally do with zero problems. So I realized while editing that I never actually tried to run streaming services while DJing with this laptop. So I opened the laptop, opened Serato, logged into my Beatsource, and then realized, this kind of sucks. Because initially, it took forever for songs to download, and I couldn't figure out why, because everything else works so smooth on the laptop. But after 4 or maybe 5 songs, things started to get a little faster and eventually got to the point where songs were loading with no issues. So initially it kind of sucked, but then it got its shit together, and next thing you know, it's handling streaming music just as well as it handles local files. So another win for the cheap $250 Amazon laptop. So now let's talk about fun stuff like stems. Stems are so much fun, and I love using them, except I can't use them on the Fusion 5.
Whack.
Because it is so slow and the processor is so dismal that analyzing a song for stems takes forever. If you hit analyze on load, forget it. You're never loading a song up again. If you decide you're going to press a stems button while a song's playing without it being analyzed, forget it. The stems are not going to happen. You'll see it on the screen, but musically it's not happening because this processor just cannot keep up. It can't do it. So stems, absolute no-go on the Fusion 5. Since we can't do stems, I wasn't even going to test video because I know for a fact that the video on this thing is going to be absolute crap because it doesn't have a dedicated video card. It's not going to be able to handle video, especially with the low amount of RAM, the crappy processor. Like, it wasn't even worth investing the time to try it out because I know it's just not going to work. However, the built-in Serato effects in the program work just fine. The onboard effects from my S9 work just fine. I can loop, I can set cue points, I can do all the very basic things that I need to do to get by for a DJ performance with this laptop. Okay, so can you get by using a cheap $250 Fusion 5 laptop from Amazon for DJing? Well, as much as I really hate to admit it, you can. Even though the laptop doesn't meet all of the minimum system requirements from Serato, it still works. I mean, it's not gonna blow you away with speed or like really impress you, but it works. I would also have to imagine that if you're considering purchasing a laptop of this price range, you're probably not a professional in the industry and you're just getting your toes wet. And for that, I would say this laptop is actually just fine. If you're really not too sure if you want to do the whole DJ thing and you don't want to invest a ton of money into a laptop, this will get you by. This will help you figure out whether or not this is something you want to do. And at the end of the day, if you don't, you only wasted $250. However, if you aspire to be a DJ and you know you want to get to a pro level, I would not recommend buying this because, well, it's not a pro laptop. But if you're just getting started and you're not 100% sure whether or not you even want to do this, this is a great laptop to try DJing with. Now, would I recommend this laptop to anyone? The resounding answer to that is no. It's not a good laptop. It's fine. It'll get you by. But at the end of the day, you're better off saving your cheddar and getting a better laptop, especially if you want to pursue a career in DJing. If you want to get to the pro level, you need pro level equipment, and the Fusion 5 is not it. However, I can make a very base recommendation if you are a new DJ, you're just starting, you're not even sure if you want to commit to this, then the Fusion 5 will be just fine. It'll do everything you need it to do to get you started in the DJ industry until you can save some cheddar and get yourself that shiny MacBook Pro. However, unless you're a beginner, then no, I don't recommend this laptop at all. Not in the littlest bit. It was fun to play with, it was a cool experiment, but at the end of the day, it's still a $250 Amazon special, and it's gonna act like it. So I don't recommend this laptop at all, unless you're a beginner, and even then, tread carefully, because you might want to get into this at a higher level, and now you just wasted $250 on a shit laptop. If you made it this far into the video, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. If you found anything useful in this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. I have a bunch of videos on this channel going over the tech that we use every day as DJs, with a lot more coming down the pipeline. So again, thank you for watching. I'm Seth with DJ Tech Tips, and we out.